This is an educational example based on my personal approach. Results vary widely, and nothing here guarantees profit or future performance. Hello, and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I hope you have had a wonderful day, a green day. We have been enjoying a lot of green in the community lately. We have been taking some opportunities that were presented to us. I'm going to go over a few of those with you. It may not be too late on some of them. One thing I want you to consider QQQ leaps. So we bought these leaps just a few days ago. We bought some on July 27th and we bought more on July 28th because the Qs had hit a very important level that I've been sharing with all of you. I actually did a video on it to help those of you that may be interested in leaps. Those same leaps are already up 10% just a few days later, and we are sitting on over $3,500 worth of gains, and they have a lot much longer to actually mature. Now, I'm going to do a couple of things. If the market does pull back in the fall, I'm going to add to those leaps. I'm not cashing out of them. I actually got really good deals on them, and I don't want to take a chance of missing out on them if the market keeps rising. But what I am looking for, if the market does not pull back and it keeps heading up and we get that MACD crossover, I am actually going to be buying skips. I'm on Skip Watch in the community. Skips are something that I coined the phrase. I actually had it trademarked. It is buying call options that are about 3 to 9 months out. You pair them with your leaps. That way you allow your leaps to keep running, but you take profit along the way because you always want to get out of these skips about 60 or 45 days to expiration. But what I wanted to talk about today was earnings. Palantir earnings were amazing. It has popped after hours. It's a beautiful thing to see standing straight at attention as that candle went straight up. It's been really fun to watch. Now, if you were in the community, you probably took a trade that I took. What I did is I went out to December and I took the $100 strike. I got about $630 for it. Now, tomorrow, because it's jumped up so much, I will more than likely be able to get out of that trade at almost a 50% profit. Now, the most beautiful thing about the trading this way with earnings, when a stock is already pretty low on its Bollinger Band, then you can go even lower with your strike. One of two things would happen, and I was fine with either of them. Either I get Palantir back in December around $100, or it does exactly what it did and it pops on earnings and I can get out of that trade, use that same capital for other trades. But what I wanted to share with you is I'll probably be taking another trade tomorrow, and you may be interested in something like this. So when you have a stock gap up like this one did, it's unlikely that it's going to retrace that entire move in short order. Now, there are particular things that you may want to look for to ensure that actually that would be a good trade idea. You want to look at, did the institutions actually step in? And if you see higher volume candles after a great earnings report, then that's a very telling sign. So I'm going to take you into the computer. I'm going to show you the details so that you can potentially set up your trades. You do have volatility crush after earnings, but it's still elevated enough where you can get some really good deals, some really good premium. Go jump into the computer so that I can show you how you might want to trade or play Palantir in the coming days. Now, right now, I am looking at Palantir on Robinhood Legend, and I have that L2 data populated. I have been using this a lot to help my members swing trade, and it's really been helpful for them. And so if you look at this, let's assume you have 100 shares of Palantir and you actually want to sell covered calls. Well, at this point, this may change tomorrow, but right now, there are a lot of potential sellers right here around this 150 area. So you would more than likely want to go a little bit higher than that, but I would not sell covered calls right out of the gate. What I would do is I would wait until it gets like it's going to be right up against there where these orders start triggering. And that's when I would sell my 150, let's say 155 covered call just to keep yourself safe. And then when these orders start triggering and it retreats, you can get out of that trade, usually in short order. That's typically what I do with my puts. I call it hops and hours only put selling, but this would be for a covered call. So it's a little bit different dynamic, but still you get the idea. Now, if you're interested in actually selling a put tomorrow, there's going to be activity in the morning when the market opens. And so here's what I want to show you. You see this huge candle right here. This is the candle and it gapped up. So tomorrow there are going to be traders that were left behind and they actually want to get in on this party. And so what you want to do, you want to look at the gap up, which you can see right here when this candle jumped. it was 136 is where it jumped. And so it jumped from all the way down here, 125 to 136. So more than likely, this move, depending on where it settles tomorrow, it's unlikely that you will see it come all the way back down to the beginning part of where that candle started. It will more than likely, if it pulls back, you'll see it pull back maybe to the middle at most. So, with that being said, you can look at a couple of different things. You can look right here at this L2 data. This is showing you that there's buyers at 134 if it gets a dip down tomorrow. Or you could come maybe to around the middle of this candle and do something around 131, 132. So let's look at how that would look tomorrow when you actually go to take the trade. And I would only go 1 week out. It's not going to be tons of premium, but it's going to be nice premium that is a really safer trade based on the way that the dynamics are showing up. And you can see right here, the volume candle is significantly higher. So this is very encouraging. When you saw this, you might see a little bit more buying pressure tomorrow. So this shows me that there are going to be new buyers for Palantir any pullback that it sees in the coming weeks. So I'm going to take full advantage of that and either get the stock at a really good price for its next move up, or I'll get the premium and then it'll release my cash ready for new trades shortly thereafter. Let me show you what I'm looking at right here. So I am looking at 8.7. Now, clearly what you're seeing here, this $1,097 for the 132 strike, that was based on where it closed today at that 125 level. So if you want to look at your deltas right here, you can get a better sense for how it might be priced tomorrow as the actual price of Palantir moves up. Let's assume tomorrow Palantir opens up about 140. So this, although it was paying quite a bit before earnings at 132 because we were closer to it, tomorrow, based on my calculations, this might end up being around $200, $230. But still, that's a really good return for a very short amount of time. That's about a 1.7% return for a 4-day trade. So what I will be looking for tomorrow, I'll be looking for any kind of pullback in Palantir, some profit taking early in the morning, and then I will go ahead and I will sell this 132 put expiring at the end of the week. And I should expect about $200 to $250 for that trade. Now, the best part is you can apply this methodology to any trade that gaps up. You want to make sure that you check the volume so that the volume did step in, and you want to make sure that you go at least down to about 50% of that gap up candle, and that should give you a really good trade in a very short order. I hope you're loving all of the different trade ideas I have been trying to help all of you with. I really want to inspire those of you that are sitting on the sidelines, but you're curious about options. I really want to inspire you to jump in. It's really a lot of fun once you learn it. And if this catches hold and you actually start understanding what you're doing, then you will start to come up with some incredible scenarios that can help give you an edge. That's how I got my edge. I have been working through all the different various scenarios. We've been having strategy sessions with our community members, and everyone is getting really smart when it comes to options. I'd love for you to be a part of that. Remember, if you're with me at Trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. Now, for those of you that want to play some of the earnings that might be coming up here in the coming days, we have a lot. I'm going to leave an earnings playbook for you. I'm going to leave it for you right here.